Today, Bernie Sanders endorsed Hillary Clinton, yet some of his supporters are still reluctant to back Hillary Clinton anyway. And a lot of people in the press are wondering, why not? Your leader has already said that you should support Hillary Clinton. Now, I'm not saying that they should or they shouldn't, but I want to tell you why it is that some people are reluctant. Well, as luck would have it, the Hillary Clinton campaign accidentally released an ad just yesterday. I don't think they meant to, and I'm not getting on them for doing it. It must have been a mistake, because obviously the campaign's long over and they were about to get the endorsement. It was an attack ad that they had planned against Bernie Sanders before about the Export-Import Bank. And I want to show it to you and use that as an example of why some of Bernie's supporters are still reluctant to join the Clinton campaign.
This should be a no-brainer.
I urge a no vote.
This is an issue where Bernie and I are in complete agreement.
You see, if you just saw that ad and you were an older voter who supported Hillary Clinton, you go, I knew it. Bernie Sanders agrees with the right wing like Ted Cruz and the Koch brothers. Wait a minute, you also said he was the most liberal senator in our lifetimes. And so how does that make sense? But I knew it. He's on the wrong side. And all the good Democrats, Biden, Obama, FDR, and Hillary Clinton all agree that Export-Import Bank is wonderful. But you see, if you actually are a younger voter that gets your information online, you would know that actually the Export-Import Bank is terrible. It's total corporate welfare. And so the fact that the Democratic Party establishment backs it doesn't help at all. It's part of the systemic corruption. This is the one issue the Republicans happen to be right about. And yes, they have their own hypocrisy. If you're against this kind of corporate welfare, you should be against the farm subsidies and the oil company subsidies and all the corporate loopholes that allow all those companies to have giant tax breaks. You're right about that. But if you've got them right on an issue, great, take it. But they don't, because they also get paid by those same companies and, by the way, the same unions that represent the employees of those companies. So let me tell you what the Export-Import Bank actually does. By its very nature, and this is Andy Koenig and Mark Short writing about this at the Los Angeles Times, but you could read about it anywhere. By its very nature, the Export-Import Bank is corporate welfare, and its beneficiaries have no interest in seeing the taxpayer money dry up. Their claims about the bank's importance are a reflection of this fact. What they want is for the American public to bear the risk for the private company's profits. So it's true. What they do is they provide loans, but cheap loans, to American companies, which are in reality, of course, multinational corporations. And then sometimes, by the way, those corporations will pass on some of those savings to foreign companies that they work with, which then allows them to hire more people. Instead of having the jobs here, they move abroad. So oftentimes it's counterproductive on the jobs front, and it's a giant giveaway to these corporations. I've got one more fact for you. Despite claims that the Export-Import Bank is a friend to the small business, big firms typically benefit from around 75 to 80% of the bank's taxpayer money on an annual basis. A mere 10 companies received 64% of the bank's financing in 2013, and roughly 30% went to just one company, Boeing. Yet Boeing has already indicated that it will be able to find alternative financing for its planes. So it is an unnecessary subsidy given to some of the most profitable companies in the world. This is exactly what progressives need to be fighting against. That's why Bernie Sanders was fighting against it. Now, if you watch TV, you'll never find that out. Instead, you will have one misleading ad after another, just like that one. And if you have more money, you run those ads back to back to back. And all of a sudden, you think Bernie Sanders and Ted Cruz are on the same side. No, this is the only issue where they're on the same side and the only issue that Ted Cruz is right on. And believe me, I'm not a guy who gives Ted Cruz a lot of credit. I give him almost no credit. But they're right about the Export-Import Bank. And therein lies the difference between the people who get their news from establishment media and the people who get it online. The people who get it online actually get the real news. It's accurate information. So since they know this, it's really hard for them to say, yeah, I'd like to back the person who I know is on the wrong side of these issues consistently, because she also gets the same donors from the multinational corporations on and the banks on, plus misleading ads like this to try to trick people with the money that she got from those donations. Now, that doesn't mean she's worse than Donald Trump. That doesn't mean she's solely responsible for the corruption in America. But it is hard for those Sanders supporters who have seen the truth to then say, yeah, I'm going to vote for that systemic corruption anyway. So that's their perspective. Whether you like it or not, whether you agree with it or not, I'm here to explain to you why they think the way that they do. And that accidental ad released on exactly the wrong day is a perfect symbol of it.